Do you know what the #1 problem is for beginner real estate wholesalers? This past week, I actually talked to 3 beginner wholesalers. They all had the same major problem, but for them, it was an invisible problem. But today, I'm going to reveal it to you, and today it's going to be like seeing for the first time. So throughout this video, I'm going to share these 3 conversations I have with these beginner wholesalers because these are the same conversations I've had for the last 14 years. And from training thousands of people to consistently wholesale and flip deals every single month without having to spend any money in marketing and being able to consistently hit $10,000 to $100,000 per month from what I'm about to share today, it's very apparent that the #1 problem for beginner wholesalers is about to be unveiled to you in here. So let's go ahead, let's get into it, because just understanding this is going to help you make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more every single month and close more deals every single month. A lot of people, when they're starting out wholesaling real estate, or maybe you're already wholesaling real estate, the beginners think that their problems are going to be finding and generating leads, right? That's your biggest problem. I got to find all these leads, I got to generate these leads, and if I just do that, everything's going to be fine. Or you think that the problem is getting a new shiny software. You think that that's going to solve your problems if you get that new software. It's going to be my savior. It's going to fix everything. It's going to do everything for me. Really, softwares are just tools. And why people are struggling as well, it's not because of lack of motivation, right? A lot of people are motivated. You want to do wholesale deals. You want to flip houses, but something's just not working, right? So this real problem that we have here, it's what holds 90% of wholesalers back from ever closing a deal, right? A lot of us listening probably haven't closed a deal before. So this is perfect for you. So the 3 people I spoke to this week on the phone, they're all trying to wholesale. I want you to understand that. They're all smart, right? They're not dumb, they're smart. They're putting in the effort. They all have huge goals, big goals, and I want to help them get there, but they're still stuck and they don't even know why. Right? And it's hard to get unstuck when you don't even know why, because then you're working on the wrong problems, you're trying to fix the wrong problems, and you're just spinning your wheels, you're still in the same place. So I'm going to share these stories because maybe they resonate with you, maybe they don't, but sharing through stories helps a lot of people. I know it helps me. So I redacted the names. These are not their real names, just for privacy purposes, so don't worry. But one person I spoke to was Charlie. What was Charlie doing? Well, he's been driving for dollars for how long? For the last 10 months. And I asked him, how many written offers have you sent in this last month? He didn't answer that the first time around, but he told me he has 30 addresses written down of properties that he found from driving around that look distressed. He wrote down those 30 addresses. But at the end of 10 months, where he's at right now today, he hasn't called a single seller, he hasn't made a single offer, and he hasn't closed a single deal. And when he came on the phone, he didn't know what his problem was, but thought his main problem was exactly what he was doing. He thought he was solving it. His problem is finding more properties. That's what he thought his problem was. So what was he doing? He's just driving and finding more properties. But it was not getting him any closer to his actual goal, which is he wants to do 1 wholesale deal a month and make $10,000 plus per month from 1 deal. So through doing all this work, he's a beginner wholesaler, right? He's trying to wholesaler, has not got any results so far. So this is just one person I spoke to. He's not aware of what his true problem is. But then I also spoke to Amanda. So Amanda, she's been cold calling. She's been pulling lists and cold calling homeowners, a lot of them not interested in selling their properties. And in a few months, she's made about 400 plus cold calls to homeowners from these lists. Now, she has sent 1 offer, but she still has no deals closed, right? At the end of the day, what are we trying to do as wholesalers? How are you actually a wholesaler? It's when you're closing deals, right? That's what brings income to your business. That's what generates revenue for our business. It's what we need to do to stay in business, right? A business's oxygen is profit. You want to wholesale a deal. And the great thing about wholesaling is that wholesale fee is all profit. So we have to close deals to receive this profit. But when talking with Amanda, she's actually in what I call the honeymoon phase, right? She's been doing this for a few months now. She doesn't even mind cold calling, actually. She kind of likes it. She's having some fun, right? It's new. She's just doing it. But she doesn't know she has this problem where she's not getting any closer to her goal, or it's taking her way too long to get to her goal. And her goal, when speaking with her, was she wanted to do 2 deals a month. She wants to more than double her income and make $20,000 a month from wholesaling. And at the rate she's going right now, I do not see her hitting this goal. She may get a deal down the road, but the actions she's taking are not going to get her to $20,000 a month. And she doesn't know that. She just feels that she doesn't have this momentum. She feels inconsistent. She knows she hasn't closed the deal, but she's still kind of in that honeymoon phase. She's got some rose-colored glasses right now. All right, then we have Randy. So Randy, he bought a CRM, a software, and he's been texting. So in the last month, he sent 3,000 text messages. He's actually got 3 offers out, but still he has no contract signed. He's got no deals closed. And his goal, he wants to do 3 deals a month. He wants to make $30,000 a month from his wholesale real estate business. So all these people here are beginner wholesalers. They all have not closed a deal yet, right? I would categorize that as a beginner wholesaler. They're all working different strategies, as you could see, but there is a problem here, right? One of the problems, it's not the main problem that every wholesaler has, but right now they have not closed any deals. That's a big problem, right? You need this income for your business to actually succeed. So we got Charlie, right? No deals, no offers, thinks his problem is finding more distressed properties, so he's driving around finding these properties. We got Amanda, no deals, she sent 1 offer, doesn't even know she has a problem. She's in that honeymoon phase. Randy, no deals, 3 offers, thinks his problem is organization and that the CRM will solve everything. All right, but now let's get to the root of the problem. Even more so than the money, in order to get the money, we got to solve this problem. Now, the number one problem beginner wholesalers have is that they are not sending enough written offers to hit their goals. Let me say that again. The number one problem that beginner wholesalers have is that they are not sending enough written offers to hit their goals. That's it, plain and simple. So the truth is, you can never ever get a deal under contract. You can never ever close a deal without submitting a written offer. Well, we have to understand an offer isn't real unless it's written. I'm not talking about airball fairy offers. I'm not talking about leaving a voicemail. I'm talking about written offers, which is what? Which is a contract. When we actually sign a contract and all that's left for the seller is to sign the bottom line, sign the contract, and then we now have the property under contract, that is the most important KPI. That's what moves your business forward as a real estate wholesaler, because I don't care if you make 400 cold calls and you've submitted 1 offer in 3 months. It's going to take you a long time to close a deal because you only submitted 1 offer from 400 calls. I'd rather you make 5 phone calls and submit 5 offers in 1 day. And this is what will accelerate your business. So now we need to know the math behind wholesaling success. And if everyone understands this, if you're a beginner wholesaler and you want to do deals and you're struggling, you've been doing this for 10 months, 3 months, 1 month, you haven't got any deals yet, all you have to do is understand this and reverse engineer your goals, and you will be successful. Right? I haven't seen anyone who actually does this and is not successful. So the math behind wholesaling success, what it takes to get a deal that you can wholesale, or if you're a fix and flipper, you can fix and flip this deal too. But right now, I'm strictly talking about wholesaling, is that what we see in our experience, on average, it takes 15 written offers to close 1 deal. 15 written offers to close 1 deal. And 1 deal can make you $10,000 plus. Now, this is an average that we see a lot of the times, $10,000. Sometimes we make a lot more, sometimes we make a little less, but that's a great number. $10,000 is a normal number we see. So 15 written offers will get you 1 wholesale deal that can make you $10,000. You have to understand this and start focusing on this and start tracking this if you want to hit your goals. So as we break it down for each person, this is very important you understand this, because now we can reverse engineer your goals and also the people's goals that I spoke to, right? Any beginner wholesaler. So Charlie, he wanted to do 1 deal a month, 10K. He needs to send 15 written offers in a month. So this means he needs to send 1 written offer every other day. That's it. 1 offer every other day. Let's say there's 30 days in a month. It's going to be 15 offers in a month. As of right now, when I talked to Charlie, he submitted 0 offers in 10 months. That's why you haven't got a deal. There is your sign, right? So if he does 15 offers in 1 month, that's going to be way more he's ever done his whole life. And he's going to start to see momentum and start to see success and actually be in the game. That's the most important thing. When you're not submitting offers, all you're doing is sitting on the sideline. You're not actually playing the game. Or it's like you are in the game, you're playing basketball, but you're never ever shooting. And you're not going to win the game if your team never shoots the ball, right? That's how you score. Now, Amanda, her goal is 2 deals a month, and she wants to make $20,000 a month. Let's reverse engineer that. What do you need to do? She needs to send 30 written offers in a month. So let's break it down. That's 1 written offer per day. Just like an apple a day keeps the doctor away, one written offer a day keeps your W-2, your 9-to-5 job away. This is how you actually build your own business. One offer a day can get you 2 deals a month of $20,000. Right there, we reverse engineered it. When I talked to her, she's been doing this for 3 months, she submitted one offer and made 400 plus cold calls. Amanda, right, she can keep doing what she's doing. She submitted one offer in a few months, but knowing what we know now in my experience, if you're only doing one offer every few months, it's going to take her, what's one offer, 3 months? You have to multiply those 3 months by 15. So it's gonna take her 45 months to get a deal. Or maybe she gets lucky and 9 months she gets a deal. But she's not sending enough written offers to get one deal. Does that make sense? Now Randy's goal is 3 deals in a month. 30K a month is what he wants to make. It's absolutely doable. All of these goals are doable, right? I work with people every single week, every single month that are doing this, who knew next to nothing. And this was the main problem. Randy, if he wants to do 3 deals a month, he needs to submit 45 written offers in a month. We break that down across 30 days, 1.5 written offers a day, right? So he submitted 3 offers in 1 month. He's doing the best, but I have students, I have clients, we like to submit 3 offers a day, not 3 offers in a month, right? Who's gonna move their business further? Who's gonna get more deals and close more deals? The person who sends 3 offers in a month or the person who sends 3 offers in a day? Right? The person who submits 3 offers in a day. So for him, at 3 offers a month, it's going to take him 5 months. 5 times 3 is going to be 15 in order to get one deal. And his goal is 3 deals in a month. So when you don't even know that the problem is the amount of written offers that you're sending, what's going to happen is you're going to keep doing the same thing. You're going to think the software is the problem. You're going to think about pulling lists is the problem. I need a higher quality list. You're going to think about your sales skills on cold calls is the problem, when really the problem is just the number of written offers that you're sending in order to hit your goal, right? That's the biggest problem. And what you need to realize is everything changes. Everything changes in your business when you start sending and tracking your written offers. Everything's going to change. Fundamentally, your whole entire business is going to change. You're tracking the most important KPI now, the thing that actually moves the needle in your business. I've said this earlier, I don't care if you make 400 cold calls, that's not going to equate to your business success. I need to know how many written offers you're sending. You need to know how many written offers you're sending. From there, we can reverse engineer the goal and hit your goal. And everything changes when you actually send the correct amount of written offers you need to hit your goals, right? So real quick, you want 1 deal, you want 10K, 15 written offers. You want 2 deals, 20K a month, it's 30 written offers. 3 deals, 45 written offers will get you 30K a month. That's it. If you're not getting the results you want, ask yourself this question: how many written offers did I send last month? And if the answer is less than 15 written offers, then this is why you didn't close a deal last month. That's it, plain and simple. If you did not close a deal last month, if you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, how many written offers did I send this last month? So obviously that's the biggest problem. And now I want to share the fix, the solution. I've seen no better solution than this. This is what I've been using for 14 years in order to get wholesale flip deals, even rental properties below market value. And what I've been using is my MLS offer system. So when I started out 14 years ago, I was driving to the courthouse, I was pulling probate records, I was sending mailers, I was putting out bandit signs, I was door knocking, I was cold calling, I was doing everything that you could do, right? Everything that these people were doing, these beginners, I was doing. It wasn't until I realized that the MLS, the multiple listing service, that it's the largest marketplace of houses in the United States. I learned that 90% of all real estate transactions take place on the MLS, 90%. That means 10% of all real estate transactions happen off the market. And that's what all these beginner wholesalers are doing. When you're driving for dollars, you're looking for off-market properties. You're looking for the 10%. When you're cold calling, you're pulling a list of a house that's on the market. You're looking for the 10%. When you're sending text messages, you're pulling the list and you're text messaging people that don't have their house on the MLS. It's off-market, focusing on the 10%. So I like focusing on blue oceans. I like focusing on where, hey, if I miss, aim for the moon, you miss, you hit the stars, right? So what's happening is that when we use the MLS, here's the most important thing I realized: it instantly solves all of your lead problems or your lead problem, right? A lot of us, when we start out, it's like, man, I need more leads. I need leads. I need leads. I got to pull lists. I need leads. On the MLS, every single day, there are new distressed deals that are uploaded every single day. New distressed deals that need to go all cash, that need to go to investors, that need to go to wholesalers, that need to go to fix and flippers, so why not you? Every single day they're there. It's like agents and brokers do the work for you. They're just uploading these distressed houses there. And so now instead of spending weeks or months, so like Charlie that drove around for 10 months, has a list of 30 properties, hasn't done anything, well, now you can get high value leads, distressed leads in seconds when you just log into your computer, you log into the MLS, and now you can start calling these agents and submitting offers on a daily basis. Now keep in mind, when a house is active on the MLS, the multiple listing service, that seller has raised their hand and said, hey, I want to sell my house, right? These houses on the MLS are the houses that have a for sale sign in front of it. Yes, there are beautiful renovated properties on the MLS that are never going to be wholesaled, but there are a lot of distressed properties on the MLS that are going to be wholesaled. Because a lot of homeowners, when they want to sell their house and they're in a distressed situation, the only thing they know of how to sell their house is to work with a real estate agent and put on the market. Those are the types of deals that we go after. And what you need to understand, I'm not cold calling an agent. When you work on the MLS, you are never ever cold calling an agent, right? Cold calling is calling someone that doesn't want to be called. When you're cold calling a homeowner whose house is on the MLS, they're not interested in selling their house, that's a cold call, right? Those are the people that are going to tell you to kick rocks. When I call a real estate agent that's listing a distressed house on the MLS, they're as motivated as you and I to close the deal. A real estate agent only gets paid if they're selling a house if the deal closes. And if it's a distressed house and it's going to go all cash, it's going to go to an investor or wholesaler, fix and flipper, then we're all aligned. All the incentives are aligned. They want to close the deal as much as us. And what's beautiful is you can literally call, this has happened for us dozens and dozens of times and our students. The house is active and distressed on the MLS and the seller is motivated, right? There are motivated sellers on the MLS. You can get that property under contract the same day and wholesale it the next day. Done that many times. It's very hard to do that a lot of the times with off-market properties. But at the rate that you can do that on the market is insanely fast, because that's what, when a house is active for sale, it's actively for sale. It's what it means. They are accepting offers at this second, right now, today. It's a motivated seller. You need to realize that. So these are warm and hot phone calls because the agent gets paid when they close the deal. And when an agent lists a property, they know they're going to get random phone numbers calling them. They're going to get buyers calling them and agents calling them from random phone numbers, and they're going to pick up. Whereas if you're cold calling a homeowner who's not interested in selling their property, right? You're pulling that list and you're calling from a different area code. They don't know who you are. They're not going to pick up, or a lot of times they don't pick up. We see that. So agents basically get paid to pick up. So these are not cold calls, and this is why we love the MLS. So most importantly, the biggest problem here is the number of written offers that we need to send. Utilizing the MLS solves that problem because there are thousands of distressed properties on the MLS. There are distressed properties in your market right now in your county and the surrounding counties that you can submit offers on a daily basis in order to hit your written offer goal, in order to hit any wholesaling and flip goal that you have. That's the power of the MLS. And one thing I didn't even mention is you don't need to spend any money in marketing to get these deals, right? You don't need to spend money in direct mail. You don't need to spend money in pay-per-click advertising. When you have access to the MLS, you don't need to pay anything for these leads in order to acquire these leads. That's the beautiful thing about this. And so if you're interested in fixing the real problem, you feel like this can be the solution, and kind of is a lot of the times, well, the number one problem beginner wholesalers have, this is the fix. And so I dive deeper into the MLS offer system training. You're going to hear some things I talked about today, but also I'm going to go more in depth on why this works even more. And if you just get one golden nugget out of it, which I'm sure you'll get multiple, my goal is this is the best 30 minutes that you spend on your business. So it's just realestateskills.com/watch, and I'll walk through the exact system to get consistent wholesale and flip deals every single month. How do we do that? By consistently sending written offers every single day or every other day. Right? If we're able to consistently send written offers on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and you reverse engineer your goal and you hit your offer goal, you're going to be able to close wholesale deals every single month. All right, so hopefully this resonated with you. Let's go further, let's go faster. This is what I love helping people to do. Maybe you're like Charlie, maybe you're like Amanda, maybe you're like Randy that wants to just close frickin' deals. This is what juices me up. This is what we love doing. That's why we love helping people, right? When I started wholesaling over 14 years ago, I had dozens and dozens of people asking me, Alex, how the heck are you doing this? All right. And also I learned at a young age, right? As I was going to Real Estate Investor Association meetings, I had I would go to these meetings all the time and I had people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s telling me that, hey, Alex, the MLS doesn't work. Isn't it competitive? Hey, you can't be wholesaling deals from the MLS. And at that time, as I'm learning about the MLS, I would have 20, 25 properties under contract at one time, closing over $100,000 consistently from wholesaling and flipping every single month. So I learned at a young age, I'm fortunate that a lot of people have no idea what they're talking about. And so what you're gonna see is a lot of people aren't gonna break this down to the written offer level. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, this just makes sense, it's because it does, right? We broke it down. And these principles here, they're the same business principles in any type of business, right? We need to track the most important KPI that's going to bring the result for your business. It's not gonna be the number of hours you cold call. It's not gonna be how long you're driving for dollars. It's not gonna be how many softwares that you have. Even if you have all those things or you do that, you have a different strategy, at the end of the day, your business, your results is going to be broken down by the number of written offers that you submit. If you track this, if you send written offers and you do it consistently, you're going to solve the major problem that all beginner wholesalers have. All right. So definitely check out the free training, realestateskills.com/watch. I want to share some golden nuggets about the MLS offer system so you can start getting results, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.